Alright, so first off, I have to apologize. I've had this knife for a long time and haven't been able to make a video about it. Two reasons. I've been busy, and actually I had footage of the knife, but my computer was all messed up. Couldn't figure out how to load videos for the longest time. Turns out it was very easy. Figured it out today. Anyways, so the footage I post later on, after me talking here, is actually shot a couple months ago. You can tell because there's no snow on the ground, but I think it's good because now I can tell you my real opinion about the knife. I've had it for, like I said, a few months now. It's the Green River, the Turley Green River, and I beat the crap out of this thing. It's taken place of all my other knives. I use this way more often. 5/32 thickness. I can't remember how long it is, but it's a good 4.5 inches. If I'm mistaken, Iz'll correct me, I'm sure. Brass pommel and bone G10 scales. Really like the knife. I like the fact that the 5/32 is just a bit skinnier than the 3/16. Like I said, it's a beast. Now, if you're ever going to order a knife from Iz, and I should have learned this a long time ago, I've been trying to get by on just using other sheaths. Like this Brian Andrews sheath. It's a really great sheath. Ken gave it to me. It's really nice, but it doesn't fit the Green River very well. Obviously, like it just falls right out of it. So when I came home one day, I actually dropped this out of the sheath and landed on my concrete porch, and I dinged up the edge pretty good. Now I took Iz's advice with the sharpening, and I took it down to 400 grit, and you can't even tell that I dinged it anymore. Obviously you can't see it in here either way, but yeah, so it sharpened real good, and it's back to hair shaving sharp, so that's another good aspect of it. But so yeah, here's the video. Like I said, after using it for 2.5 months, this is the real deal. I think I'm gonna like the 5/32 thickness. It's a tiny bit smaller than the 3/16, as you guys know. But I kind of like the thinner blade a little bit. I like the longer blade aspect of the Green River too. This oak that I have is pretty dry. It's dead standing. All the bark was removed already, so it's been dead for quite a while. Yeah, the extra length really comes in nice when you're batoning. Not that this wood is overly thick at all, but it's just, I like the extra length. Trusted Green River. Some of those curls are so fine, I could spark that right there with the ferro rod. And that is with a convex knife. So I like to make a bunch of shavings like that, like those fine shavings, and then after that, just take off big, like slivers of wood almost. It's not really necessary to have them all fine like that. And in my experience, in my preference, like I said, I'll do a few of those, but then mostly big ones. I'll normally do the fine ones at the end and keep them for catching the spark right away, and then just throw handfuls of the the shavings, like the splinter shavings on. What I really like about this knife and the Gasconade, but this one takes it a little bit further, is the pommel, obviously, so I can put the wood down and bury the tip right into it to split it, but also the curve up at the tip of the blade here, so I don't have to go directly with my tip right in. I can, now I do that though, but I can also put the curve in, right? If you're worried about your tip, which on a Turley it's not really a worry. One second, let me flatten this more. Put the curve in, baton it that way to split it, or like I already said, right with the tip. So that's what I really like about this knife, the blade geometry and the pommel. The pommel just takes it one step further, and that's the reason that I wanted the Green River. My Gasconade is my favorite knife. Well, it's hard to say now, but my Gasconade was my favorite knife up until I saw the pommel. Now you can get Gasconades with pommels on them. I'm sure Iz will do that for you. A lot of the times when I'm batoning my pieces, if they're not big enough, or if they're not too big, I'll just use my hand and finish it by a push cut. This is ash, so it's very straight grained, natured anyways, but this will work with oak, maple, anything that splits relatively easy. I don't know if you'd want to do it with like a birch or a cherry. I know those kind of tend to splinter off. And I do have my axe here. I'm just using this knife like this for fun. After all, that's what we come to the woods for, right? Fun? I do anyways.